Wait. Oh, there it
Hello,
is.
hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 2 of Star Trek Lesser Halls, a Star Trek Adventures actual play. My name is ELH, the Game Master, and I don't think I have many announcements well, I don't have any announcements, so let's just have the players introduce themselves, then we'll handle a little bit of housekeeping since our last session got cut off, and then we'll start the new session proper. So, Drill, why don't you take us away?
Hi, I'm Drill or Drilling. You can find me here on Twitch or Twitter. I play Ensign Keela, Zahian engineer, and we only have context today because makeup takes too long.
Hello, I'm Picardi, play Ensign Shraz Thriller. If you actually did try to search for me last time, I apologize for my terrible artwork. Thank you.
I'm C4A or Converse for acting. I'm here. I have currently 2.5 brain cells rubbing together, and I play Ensign Gemma Solaris.
Very nice. All right, so let's handle that little bit of housekeeping. So, as a reminder, at the end of last session, you all were given kind of a chance to make a narrative declaration of what your character or what something about the situation happens. Reminder of the situation, you all had inadvertently stumbled upon a Section 31 operation where they were trying to use morphogenic viruses to basically turn people into shape changers, to changelings, whatever you want to call them. And that was on a crashed Nova class vessel. So you went down with no idea what was going on. And just over time, you found out this sinister plot kind of a thing. But where we left off was that crewman Cole, one of the security members from the Phoenix, your ship, basically came and saved your butts. Basically came in and helped you lock down and otherwise, I guess, take the Section 31 crew members into custody. So before we get to today's session, let's just go around and see what everybody had in mind, and we'll see what happens. So let's start with Drill. So Drill, what did you want to add detail-wise about either the situation or about what your character's response to it is?
Didn't have much in mind, so was just thinking that Keela would drill Cole for information and to tell her everything and anything about Section 33.
All right. So the long and short of it is Section 33 was spun up about 2377 after the Dominion War. Canonically, that's when Section 31 was dismantled on Deep Space Nine, and I use dismantled in quotation marks here. Basically, 33's job was to make sure that 31 and organizations like it could not continue to exist. So they've been around for 30, 40 years at this point. Anything beyond that, she's kind of directed you to talk to Commander Baker, but that is as much as she'll tell you up front.
She wouldn't tell about like past missions or anything.
No, she is very tight-lipped when it comes to past missions.
Okay.
All right. Anything else? Cool. All right, Ensign Thriller, what do you got for us?
I think I was the only one who actually got to say something last time before it died, but I'm not sure if it got across. My plan was to take some of that creature, like this research of that creature, in a way that could not be traceable, just in case Section 33 wants to not have it traceable, and then use that and bring it to the science people to help research a way to help these guys and make them not be those creatures anymore.
Not be those horrific oozes. I got you.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that's very easy for you to do. We'll say, for sake of argument, moving forward, that you do have such a sample, and if you ever find someone that is skilled in such matters, you definitely have the resources to bring them.
Cool.
All right, and that finally brings us to Solaris. Anything you'd like to add?
I would also like to go along the talking route, but I would like to ask the captain
Okay.
more about what exactly we could be signing up for.
Okay. So Astier would basically tell you that most of the time your duties haven't changed. You're still going to be going around the Sabian Expanse, helping out ships in need, repairing things of that nature. but every once in a while the Phoenix is going to get assigned to a odd mission, especially for a ship of 20 people. And basically those quote unquote odd missions are ones that stay on the ship, meaning you can't talk about them with anyone else. But in terms of what those missions entail, could be anything from still repair work to actual sabotage to maybe light sort of combat, but it's not like she's going to put you down on the ground and say, all right, go shoot these people. Like, that isn't what the mission's about.
Are there any repercussions in regards to our family if we sign on?
What she'll tell you is that there is sort of not quite a witness protection program, but if something ever happens to you or something ever starts to look like, say, your enemies or, you know, someone's trying to go after your family, they have a very good way of keeping them safe and out of harm's way.
Thank you, Captain.
All right, well, then let's begin the session proper. So we sort of see the USS Phoenix moving towards a research station that kind of looks like a oblong cylinder with two kind of fins sticking out of the middle. And near this research station, floating in space, is a pulsar, or basically a neutron star that is spitting out electromagnetic radiation from both of its poles. And the reason it's called a pulsar is because it spins, and however much it spins and flashes that electromagnetic radiation, that's the pulse. But as the Phoenix gets closer and closer to the research station, we hear Commander Baker's voice as he begins. Commander Baker's personal log, supplemental. Well, hello there. Me again. I don't know why I keep saying that at the beginning of every log. I feel like I should probably stop doing that. Anyways. The good news is that we are back on our regular charted course to help out those in need in the Sabine Expanse. However, we are a little concerned about our 3 young ensigns. They finally got exposed to the truth of what Section 33 was, and to be honest, I'm personally worried that we went about it the wrong way. It was sort of a trial by fire situation where we knew there could be 31 on that Nova class, but we didn't know for sure until, well, they had boots on the ground. In a perfect world, we would have slowly exposed them to it, sort of like how we tested them with the whole Halloween party debacle, but now we're just giving them time and space, and hoping that they don't resent us for keeping secrets. I guess only time will tell if that remains to be the case. End log. And yeah, we then zoom into the research station with you all beaming in as a group, including TM. TM is there with you, as you beam into the research station. Now, the research station is actually fairly small in the interior. Most of the interior of the research station is actually sensor equipment and comms arrays. So the space you beam into is about the size of half a football field. And when I say football field, I don't mean the abomination that is United States football. I mean like an actual like soccer pitch.
Okay.
I have no idea what size you're thinking of.
It's comparable. It's I'm trying to do quick math in my head here. It's either a third or a fourth the size of a football field, basically.
A football field is 100 yards.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, I think that's right.
Football, so that's all I got.
Yeah. It's a small space is what I'm getting at. But when you beam in, you see immediately in front of you there is a central pillar that runs the entire height of the research facility. It also doubles as the main reactor, so you literally have prime access to the main reactor if you ever need it. There's also a array of consoles and other sort of laboratory equipment that line the walls. And in general, there's only a few people here. Or at least when you beam in, there's only a few people that you see. Specifically, one Vulcan who's wearing Lieutenant Commander pips kind of greets you and steps forward and says, "Well, hello, I trust you are here to help us fix our comms array. My name is Lieutenant Commander Dalvik, and I am happy to liaise with you in anything that you might need in your stay here. I do not know your names. However, I see that you represent a broad spectrum of experience.
We have our specialities.
Wonderful.
I'm Ensign Keela.
Ah, pleasure to meet you, Ensign Keela.
Ensign Solaris, how can we help?
Well, and he pauses to look at Thriller to see if Thriller introduces himself. Okay, just wanted to
I
make sure.
mentioned
Didn't know
Thriller.
if you were going for the,
Okay.
the mysterious angle. But yeah, Dalvik
Yeah.
says, well, it started about 2 weeks ago when we were unnaturally hit by one of the pulsar's bursts. It was actually a topic of much excitement among the scientists here that such a thing could even happen. We believe we were in the quote unquote safe zone. I believe it is a simple matter of replacing parts. It was just a matter of the electromagnetic radiation overloading the shielding that was present on the comms array.
Okay. Sounds like a task. We can even look at the shields to make sure it doesn't happen again.
That would be most acceptable.
Very good. Shall you? We needed this space station. Could you show us the way to the system?
Of course. And he actually just sort of takes you off to one of the consoles. And if you'll imagine the console, I don't know if any of you have ever been on like a Navy ship or any sort of like military watercraft, but the console I'm imagining isn't quite the same as like one you would find on the bridge of the Enterprise or one you would find in a science lab. It's a little more antique. This one is kind of like it has this circular window where the main screen is, where the LCAR screen is, and then it has beneath that circular window, it has a series of standard buttons and stuff you would find on LCARs. But then it sort of juts out and above, as you go above that circular screen, and you see a bunch of readouts that seem to be actually dating back to the TOS era or the original Enterprise era. So this is a very old research station. But as he brings you over to this console, he kind of reaches over to the side between the crack between consoles, kind of shuffles around for a bit, pulls a switch, and then the entire console begins to recede into the floor to expose the comm array equipment. And the comm array equipment is immediately noticeable as damaged. It is basically the equivalent of burnt wiring, of something you would see after like a fire, where everything is charred and everything is otherwise destroyed. Now, C4A, you beat me to the punch here, but the complication is going to be that not a coffee cup, but a bottle of what looks to be Andorian whiskey is back here.
Ooh.
And I think
Is it full?
Dvorak kind of looks at Solaris, looks at the bottle, looks back at Solaris and says, well, we needed to keep it somewhere.
That was your best option?
Well, the comms array usually runs cold, so kept it at the appropriate temperature.
It
For
makes
that
sense to
brief
me.
period when it wasn't.
It's bottled up, sealed tight.
Carry on.
I take it. I get a glass.
Always a good way to start your engineering work. Just have a shot of whiskey. Just go right for it. I love it. But yeah, really, as I said, this is kind of a space for you all to not only role play as much as you want about repairing the comms array, but it gives you guys a time to discuss what you want to do about the whole Section 33 thing. Sort of an out of character thing. This wasn't said ever in character to your characters, but there's sort of a choice here where you guys can stay on the ship, stay Section 33, or, if you don't feel it's a good fit, or if you're tired of your current character, this is sort of that opportunity to either jump ship or bring in a new character. So I wanted that to be out there in case you were thinking of such. But again, this is your space, and I'll just provide narration as needed.
Well, Keela is gonna go right in and start scanning the device and seeing what exactly needs to be fixed.
Okay.
She's excited about the physical burn stuff because she likes doing the physical repair stuff.
Gotcha. And just to get everybody acquainted with Foundry, I'll have you do at least one roll each as it comes up. So, Keela, if you could roll me a reason and an engineering difficulty of 1, let's see what you get. And you do have a momentum from chat, and we'll say that the complication was that bottle of whiskey. Because honestly, it just makes my day every time Solaris loses her shit about something being behind the console.
Complication was 1, right?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Glad I
All
can
right.
bring you joy.
All right, well, you got 2 successes there. Very nice. So you do get a momentum. And yeah, Keela, it's pretty much as Dvorak said. You know, it looks like the electromagnetic shielding just sort of failed, and sort of like sending too much power through a cable, it shorted out, caused some sparking, burned out some relays. Should be a simple fix, but kind of a long one based on the room you have and how quickly you can pull components out and replace them.
She'll probably start away at that.
All right, well, that's happening. I might as well look at the shields and see how that got affected.
Okay, why don't you also give me a reason engineering difficulty of 1?
Task. Do I have anything that's useful? Am I using a computer to test it, or?
Yeah, I'll give you computer because technically the shields are kind of a computing power thing in some respect. I'll give it to you.
2 dice is fine.
Oh, no successes. So unless you want to reroll that with determination, I think we'll just say that for some reason, Thriller, when you go to check the shield buffer, you're not able to tell if there's anything wrong with it. So on the surface, it seems fine, but something happened to cause the shielding to fail, so...
I'll tell her. Yeah, there's something. The shields seem fine, so I have no idea how it got through. Just looking at the logs, it seems okay.
Well, something caused all this.
Um,
Risky wires.
Solaris is going to. Is there like, I know Dalvik pulled like something out from between areas. Is there space like underneath or behind? Because she wants to get into the nooks and crannies and look for other lost items that can be repurposed and or help with a better organization system, because surely things have been misplaced or went flying after the pulsar.
Oh yeah. And it's not the same console that Keela's currently working at, but he'll go over to a different console, pull it apart, and show you the Jeffries tube entrance. So what I will tell you about these Jeffries tubes is, unlike what we see on Next Generation or DS9, where they're kind of roomy, these are very claustrophobic.
Solaris doesn't have a problem with that.
Okay, well, brought it up just in case. So it's one of those things where you're not so much crawling on your hands and knees as you're just sort of wiggling through. And to represent that, if you could give me a fitness engineering difficulty of 1. I know your power
Joke's on
stat.
us. Ugh. Fitness. Engineering.
Have a Winnie the Pooh situation here.
Do what?
A Winnie the Pooh situation. You get stuck.
Turns into a rescue
Why would you?
operation, yeah.
What are you trying to say, Thriller?
You've had too much honey.
Too much whiskey.
He's just had the one shot too. It's literally he just had the one.
Should you be on duty, Ensign?
There you go. 2 successes. So you get another momentum. Very nice. So yeah, Solaris, you get into the motion, you get into the wiggly motion. And what I'm going to say is I'm going to let you choose 2 things that you find that shouldn't be in the Jeffries tubes.
Okay. I'm going to find a wadded up uniform.
Okay.
And I'm going to find a a tool that has a hard handle and a long metal, probably about 4 inches extending from the handle.
Hmm.
And she's not going to know what it is
Okay.
at first, but it might be something that could come in use later. So she's going to also grab that.
Gotcha. I'm imagining one of like, I don't know if you've ever seen like the UV light where it's kind of like a baton where you kind of like flick it on and that rod that sticks out kind of glows a little bit. So maybe it's something like that where you
Perhaps.
maybe push a button and it starts to glow, but it doesn't seem immediately useful.
It does have a switch, but we'll see. We'll see what it is later.
How old's the uniform?
How is there any light in these Jeffries tubes? I mean, obviously she found things, but like,
Yeah, I was gonna say there's running lights. You can see where you're wiggling. I would say that this uniform dates back to the NX era, so the original Enterprise.
mm,
So it's been here for
Archer.
I think 300 years, is if I have my timeline correctly.
heck, that might be something we can use later too. As a
Yeah.
famous archaeologist once said, it belongs in a museum.
Yeah, and I would
Any
say for a uniform this old, it's remarkably well preserved. Like you would think a fabric like this would have come apart like years and years, decades ago, but
think.
no, it's
It was well
pristine
made.
almost.
Was this Jeffries tube vacuum sealed? Because dead gum.
I mean,
All right, so I got my stuff and I'm wiggling back out.
Okay.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
and I think Dvorak sort of notices his command, says, "Interesting. I don't understand why there's such an old uniform in there, but that's odd." And he points at the tool you have. I don't recognize that tool either.
Well, I'll examine it in a bit and we'll figure it out together.
Very good.
Now, in the meantime, let me introduce you to the art of label makers. And she'll pull him over to the side and start going on about the beauty of it, how it works. Everything can be labeled and you can do it in any order that you like. And da, 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 da.
Love it.
Organization.
hmm Cool.
So while that's happening, I'll go over and assist with the actual task at hand and start a little conversation. So, and I know that we're in an area that's probably not secure, so I'm just going to do it casually. So, what do you think about that new task reassignment?
Who are you talking to?
Yeah, who
You.
were you talking?
Me?
You're
Okay.
talking to Lieutenant
Yeah,
Southwell.
I know. I just
Sorry.
So it's me.
Yes. you.
Okay, just so I'm on the same page.
Sorry.
Wait, what reassignment? Do we have to do something else right now?
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, and all that. You know what happened last mission.
Last mission. She's like
We-
totally disfocused.
You know, the 33 reassignment.
33. 33.
Oh my god.
And Keela is just gonna like ramble to herself, trying to jog her because she's also really focused on this. So it's kind of like trying to take her off what
My
she's
guy's
doing.
getting more and more focused the more annoyed he gets.
Oh, right. 33. What? It's my favorite number. I don't know what you're talking about. 33. It's so odd because if you take a whole and you divide it in thirds, it's just 33 eternally. Like it never ends. It's always there.
Always.
11.
Always watching.
Always.
Wazowski.
So what do you think about? Come on.
I think that. What do you think?
I don't know. I kind of left my last position trying to get away from the big things and just, focus on my own work. but now we're getting involved in this situation. I don't know. I just want to do good, so it's conflicting because I don't know if these guys like they're doing some like the whole. I mean, the whole job is doing good, but at the same time, I don't know if it could cause problems down the line. Trying to be safe and without saying too much.
And Keela will kind of somber and more seriously, like, yeah, I understand the keeping to yourself. I've never, this is my first assignment, but I like to keep to myself. I like to do my thing. I don't like to get involved in other things because I know that as the Federation we have responsibility, but like I like being the lower so I don't have the responsibility, if that makes sense.
I understand.
I've been in shoes like section in category the 3-1
Yeah. Oh, gee, really?
3-1 before, and I vowed to myself that I would never again. But I think 33 is different in a good way.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't even meant to be on a starship. I was research development.
I'm just glad I'm on a small starship.
Yes, same.
I'd probably lose my marbles if I was anything very larger than this.
Yeah. I was actually once in charge of a team, so I'm happy with being a bit lower for ranking for the time being, especially after the situation that happened. The reason I got demoted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to know more?
I do want to know more.
I'm missing all the tea. Dead gum.
Well, let's do it this way. You know how I accidentally broke somebody's arm last mission?
I think accidentally is a strong word.
Yeah, I did. I accidentally punched somebody in the face.
Accidentally punch someone. So did you trip? Did you like? And she's like trying to like act it out. Like, how do you accidentally punch someone in the face?
That's the same kind of accidentally as the broken arm, where it's not so accident.
You tend to have accidents often.
Yes. It's a painful time for me to talk about it. But this is reminding me, I got to talk to the captain about something when I get back.
You gonna get promoted?
I hope not.
Oh, you know what? That's a good idea because you're gonna leave us three, and I don't think that would be any fun.
No.
I mean, we're this golden trio, and I think we need to stick to that. If we promote, we all promote together.
Yes.
Speaking of together, where is Solaris? And if she can see you, she's just gonna like yell across the room.
And then if you put it over here, but then this way, you can
Solaris!
but then never something to what?
Come here.
I'll be right back.
Zavalik just does that Vulcan eyebrow raise, but says nothing.
This is a small space.
Promotion.
Can you be quieter?
What'd you find?
Oh, I didn't find anything. I'm just working. Just we're wondering. How do you feel about promotion? Not the right topic.
Just in general or in regards to a previous mission that we may or may not have?
Right, the previous mission. Right, yeah, that one. Shrez, why don't you take over?
Yeah, how do you feel about the reassignment?
Well, I want to help people. That is something that I find very important. And I honestly, don't you think it might be kind of cool to be kind of like a spy of some sort, you know?
Have you seen me? I don't think I could be a spy.
Okay, but we would have training. I'm sure they would teach us better than just throwing us into a lava planet like they've done previously and onto a medical frigate that we could have had more information on, and then faced off that guy with, and we did the dancing spiders thing, and I'm sure we'll have more information than that. But I think that might be a cool opportunity, and I feel like I'm meant to do more.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought I was doing more back in the day. But then if
You had an accident.
Shush.
Like you dropped something, or
I dropped something, that's for sure. Yeah.
The face.
Shush.
okay, Thriller. I say this with all the love in my heart, and I'm sure Keela does too. Have you considered seeing a counselor?
That's what Starfleet told me.
Okay.
I kind of do. That's
Okay,
teleconferencing. Yeah.
And I mean, we're here for you if you ever want to talk about anything. Keela could whip up her amazing that frothy cocoa beverage. I'm not quite sure what she called it, but and we could hang out in our little area, and we would be there for you if you ever wanted. Or if you need your space, that's totally cool too, because I have projects I could work on where it's whatever.
TM is gonna kind of walk up to Thriller and just kind of like rest. I don't know how you're standing or sitting, but TM would probably rest their heads like either against your leg or on your arm or comforting.
But long story long,
Long story long.
I just don't think I want to leave. I feel like we're on the edge of something that could be really important,
Mm.
What about y'all?
I'm a research engineer. What can I do to contribute?
So much. Dude, you're so important. You can help develop things that will further our research, help develop tech that will get us into places that normally people can't go, boldly going where people usually can't go, or something like that. And these hologram programs, dude, that is the future.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I joined Starfleet. As long as it's in the right hands, it works well. But when it's not,
Okay,
so let's keep it in the right hands.
There you go.
All right.
I mean, I think TM's on board, and TM will kind of like do like a protection growl, like yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. Did you just teach him how to do that?
TM is very talented, all on their own. I'm learning every day.
I train him on the side.
Well, he's a lieutenant, so.
Yeah.
And one of the Vulcans nearby, hearing that the dog's a lieutenant, just stops what they're doing, turns very slowly to look at you all, and just raises an eyebrow, then slowly turns back to what they were doing.
I raise an eyebrow back.
And then Caleb like, yeah, TM is heading this mission, actually.
Right.
Yeah, that just gets the eyebrow to go higher.
Right, but it's really, I have to go like this. And I go back to my bike. I got lots to say to the captain when I get back.
I mean, I'm kind of surprised we haven't had like a sit down meeting up to this point. But then again, this pulsar thing was kind of, they needs to be fixed. So I could, from one hand, I can understand why we're here right away. On the other hand, I'm like, what the heck? Nothing was explained. So,
I mean, it's really easy to schedule as long as you can talk to Commander Baker.
He's waiting me out with that new beard.
I think it suits him. However, that long hair.
It's almost longer than mine.
I I don't know
Does
why.
it?
It's something about commanders settling into their job and then growing this beard. It's always happened. I don't know why.
Maybe that's part of the uniform that we don't know about.
Maybe.
But only for those that can grow beards. What about those that can't grow beards? What do they gain? What is
Probably
their next evolutionary fashion statement?
adhesive beard?
That would be so itchy.
Well, this is not a
Ugh.
goatee. We're fine.
That would cover my beautiful markings because her face is covered in markings. She's
That's-
like, no, she's like imagining it now, and she's kind of going to a perilous mindset.
But
like,
what if it's
no.
the same color as your markings and the same pattern?
I don't think I can
hairy
be,
markings? I'm not sure.
When you say it like that, let's.
I don't think I can
Yeah,
be a commander.
exactly.
Because whenever I try growing a beard, it's not solid white. It grows a tinge of another color, which is not coming of an Endorian.
Does the color change every time?
No.
And like Solaris has like note cards. She's like ready to take notes on. She's like, tell me more.
It's just a
You're like
different tinge of color.
those spiritual rings. No, not spiritual. They change. The sun rings.
Let's get
no,
this
not the
thing
sun
fixed and
rings.
not talk about beards anymore.
What, like
a
a
lunar ring. What are those things? And she just can't
Oh.
remember what those color change.
yeah, like it deals with your emotional state or something.
Yeah.
Right? I
Oh,
know
does
what
your
you-
hair does it change color to your emotions?
I'm
Dude.
ending this discussion and I'm going into the thing.
And then Solaris will like reach over and like low key like fist bump Keela.
I'll get you guys back later.
Right.
Yeah.
So the rest of the repair work, I mean, it's very simple to do. It just takes time. And you're about 4 or 5 hours into work at this point when all of a sudden, Solaris, Keela, and Thriller, all of your tricorders begin beeping at you. And you go for your tricorders and you look at the screen and you see that they have detected a small burst of chronotons in the resource station.
I'm out.
Can you explain that for C4A, please?
For C4A, basically, chronotons are sort of the time travel-y thing where anytime there's time travel, you either see tachyons or chronotons or both. So the fact you're detecting some form of chronoton might mean there's a temporal anomaly somewhere by.
And do
nearby.
we know that?
Yeah.
I'm going to
we
let
do
you
know
make that call.
I know that.
Okay, Keela doesn't know that. I'm just gonna make that declaration, Keela.
Okay.
And she'll be like, what are these things? And she'll just, I forget what it's called, but she'll just like say it out loud. Like, what
Chronoton
the heck are
particles.
chronotons, croutons?
Ooh,
Salads.
Yes, crouton. No, these are not delicious. They're
maybe later.
There's salads in here? Wait a minute.
There better not
unfortunately
be.
there may be, but it depends. Okay, did you guys read the report on the time travel situations we could get into? It's like
Did we
in our
get
manual.
one of those?
Was that the thing we got this morning?
No, this is what we got when we first got into a spaceship. It's like, you know, the
I probably
reads
did
these
and
manuals?
forgot. I see.
Oh,
If I
yeah.
don't use it, I lose it. So it's probably long gone.
That's an absolute mood.
be
I'm
very
brain.
careful. This could cause time travel.
Wait, time travel? Yes.
No,
No?
no.
Yes.
Maybe?
What about yes? Both?
There's a whole organization dedicated to making sure this doesn't happen.
Well, didn't we already?
Well, it looks like
Talk
they're
to
doing
them?
a crappy
This is a
job.
legitimate organization.
And just because chat just redeemed another momentum and a complication for you
Oh, you
all,
little-
Thriller, your tricorder beeps again, and you turn to look into the direction where the tricorder is indicating more chronotons. And the moment you do, this little tiny disruption in the air, kind of like a heat wave, sort of that blurry, sort of wavy lines, lasts for about maybe a second. but coming out of that wavy area is a soccer ball, and it flies towards your head, bounces off your head into one of the consoles, and then falls to the ground. But it is a legitimate, like, contemporary soccer ball that you would find in today kind of a thing.
TM is gonna run after the ball.
Why is a football? I'm going to be English here. Why is a football here?
Are you okay?
What, you can't see the football?
It just brained you in the face. Are you okay?
It's a football.
Didn't
it's
know
fine.
brain was a verb.
Is it not? That word might not have translated properly.
TM brings the ball to Keela, and Keela kicks it away, and then they kind of just do this fetch thing.
Classic Earth sports are like nothing compared to Andorian sports. Let's say it's nothing bad to me. I'll go. I'll throw it towards you.
To who?
You. Sorry.
Solaris.
Solaris, yeah. It's pretty light.
Yeah. And
All
she'll
right.
then toss it for TM.
And you could see that the lieutenant commander is just kind of, at this point, the Vulcan eye rays has started to lower, but also kind of incline downwards towards the brow, or not towards the brow, towards the nose. So it's kind of it's a stern eyebrow raise.
We just came through a chronicle particle field.
And he says, "Yes, I witnessed it just as you did. I don't quite understand. Why would a soccer ball be here? We're over 100 light years from Earth."
Oh, this is from Earth. I don't know what the heck
Potentially.
this thing was with all the dots all over it.
I believe it is
Sure.
a recreational implement that the humans use to kick around on a grassy field to try and get within what is designated as a goal.
Cool.
Okay, who put it here?
Well, it came through the field. The
Have you had any-
chronicle particles.
And we'll turn to the lieutenant commander and ask if there are any. Have there been any other temporal disturbances on the ship?
Volek thinks for a moment, and then he actually points at whatever service you put the uniform on. Well, I believe that uniform is out of place. That might be related.
We found a uniform. Hang on, and Akila's gonna go over and look at it, and she's just kind of lost in looking at it.
Could I do a scan of the area, like around the ship and the outer areas, to see if there's any more chronoton fields? Just to
Yeah.
localize this room?
Why don't you roll me a reason and a science? I'm actually going to make the difficulty here a 4.
Okay.
But
Wow.
the
I
good
have
news is you do have 4 momentum to spend, and your determination if you want it.
I'm using a space station for this. Can that assist me?
I mean, you can. I mean, the sensor equipment's fine, so yeah, I'll let it happen. Sure.
Yeah, literally said, "Do you really want to find this out?"
All right, I'll use the momentum to gain another die.
Okay.
Do I have anything? Got computers, focuses, Starfleet protocol.
Yeah, I'm looking at your
Research.
focus list here. I don't know that you have a specific one that would apply to this instance.
No, probably not. That's a shame. All right. So there's one. Hey, Solaris, do you want to
Mhm.
assist me trying to scan the area to bring out see what if these quantum particles are more than just this local area?
I can. I don't know if I have any focuses that could help you with that.
It's okay. We just need a scan.
Okay. What is the
The roll. It's also going to be a reason science, and remember, since you're assisting, it's just the 1 die.
It's lost the thing. There it is. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna roll my 3 dice.
Okay.
Okay, there's
Hey.
3 already. Very nice. All right.
Oh.
So,
Did you use momentum on tap potential?
well, they didn't succeed because it's
Okay.
difficulty 4.
Okay.
So I guess the question is, because I believe you have testing a theory. Let me read the specific wording on testing a theory, but that might help you here.
I have to succeed at a previous task covering the same scientific or technological field.
Okay, that's it. Let me see here. No,
Whatever
I mean
the-
technically though, you do have technical expertise, and the station sensors were helping you, so you can re-roll one of those d20.
Well, I did fail one of them, so let's re-roll that one.
And I think you can actually just click re-roll results and go through that little window, and I think it'll do it for you.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
But would it re-roll all three?
I think it asks how many you want to re-roll.
It
Nice.
does.
Oh, cool.
There you
There
go.
you go.
You go from 3 to 5 successes. Very nice. So you get the
Nice.
momentum right
Okay.
back.
Untapped
So there's
potential.
something like-
Untapped potential.
Oh yeah, untap potential before I forget. Let's roll that challenge dice here. Nah, don't get it back. Oh, you do. That's right. It's the effect that gives me threats. So you get an even further point of momentum. Very
And
nice.
Solaris will like
Five.
gently like
We're at full
pat him on the
momentum.
back and be like, "See, you didn't need me for this one. You've got this."
Yeah.
Well, Thriller and Solaris, since you were working together, I'll tell you both. It's an interesting phenomenon in that the emergence of the uniform, the emergence of that tool, the emergence of the soccer ball, all of it seems to be on a regularly cyclical nature. So what I mean by that is when you scan the uniform and get, figure out when it came here, and then you scan that tool you picked up, and then you scan the soccer ball, you're looking at a period of about 26 days and a few hours, give or take. But nothing in the immediate area really reflects that 26 days until you look at the comms array and think to check the pulsar. And when you do check the pulsar, you do see that it doesn't take 26 days for the pulsar to come around, but it does meet the 26-day pattern, if you're following where I'm going with that.
Are you saying the objects are 26 days old? I'm sorry, I'm not
They're
following.
appearing every 26 days.
Yeah.
Correct.
So every 26 days, a new item appears.
Okay.
Correct.
And the pulsar's possibly something to do with it, wouldn't it? 'Cause-
Okay.
But it's important to qualify that pulsars should not be emitting chronotons. They should not be related to time travel at all.
Hmm.
One more question. Like, can we tell when the air, so we had that shirt, the suit, and we have the ball. Are they from different time periods, or are they from the same time period?
That's another good question. So what I would tell you is that, again, the uniform is from the NX era. The soccer ball is from 2022. And the tool, now that you scan the tool shouldn't even exist, meaning that you can't carbon date it, meaning it's from probably the future.
It has to go back to the future.
But as you're learning all this, Lieutenant Commander Dalvik kind of sides up to you and goes, "Well, what have you found, ensigns? Anything that is cause for concern?"
I think the pulsar. Everything's syncing up to this 20. I've already forgot how long it was. 26-day period, and it seems to be correlating with the pulse, the stuff.
Well, what is sending the items through?
Something's causing the chronotons to come into an area, and then maybe it's appeared on a soccer pitch, or maybe it appeared in an NX class starship and just happened to be in the area at the right time. But
Keela would have put down the uniform and come back over to join the
Yes.
conversation.
Solaris will take it and fold it back up.
Sorry, I don't fold very well.
It's okay.
it's actually the NX class jumpsuit does, like, they'd have named some of them, wouldn't it? Does it have a name or designation or anything on it?
It does. I was just waiting for somebody to ask what it was. So the name of TAPA, T''PA, and I'll put that in chat as well. And apparently they were sub-commander, just like T'Pol was. There you go.
Hmm.
Ugh.
Do we have to contact those people that handle the croutons? Is that something we do? Do we call the salad makers?
Uh,
Or they could let us alone.
let's
With the
just-
croutons?
I don't think they usually come in unless there's a big situation that could disrupt
Tomato,
the time
tomato.
continuum. Unless we destroy the salad, then they won't come in. Okay, that's all.
So it's down to us again.
So you could say they don't care at all.
That's a relief.
Well, let us handle this matter then, and figure this out. Where do we even start with this?
Have you tried turning it on yon or on off?
How do you turn croutons
What's the
on
matter with
yon or
you?
on off?
This entire conversation, Lieutenant Commander Dalvik is just that eyebrow. It goes up, it goes down, it goes a little to the side. He doesn't know what to make of any of you at this point.
All right. So it's got something to do with the pulsar, right?
Yep, those plans are tossed.
We've now entered into the stage of the game where we just keep using puns for the rest of the session.
Iceberg ahead.
Oh my god.
All right. Okay, so we know what to do with the pulsar. It just happened again, so we just hit another 26 day. I don't really want to hang around for 26 days. Is it just happening because the space station's here, or is it like the field, like something with the pulsar, like just moving around, or is it?
Keela wants to do a search or ask someone. Is this the first time the pulsar has damaged the station?
Easy enough to ask. Lieutenant Commander tells you immediately, no, this is the first recorded damage from the pulsar to the station. However, interestingly, looking at the timeline here, assuming there's only been 3 objects, including this newest one, the pulsar did change in frequency slightly, approximately 76 hours or 76 days ago.
So what'd you do at that time?
I don't believe we did anything new other than readjust our shield harmonic. The pulsar simply spun a little faster, is what I mean.
She's gonna look like she knows what that what that would give her. She has no idea.
Yeah, we should take a look at your focuses here. Let's see if we can. Let's see. I mean, you have a 4 in science, so if you want to make an insight science to see if you can figure out what this is, you can go for it.
Sure.
It would be a difficulty of 3, but it doesn't look like you would have a focus here, unfortunately.
Okay.
If we come up with a practical task, I could now use my theory to practice.
Can I do I know my ship?
I mean, technically it is a problem. So yeah, I will give you that bonus d20.
Okay.
We also have a lot of momentum.
Yeah, you do have quite a bit of momentum.
Okay. So I will take a momentum. So I'm rolling 4 dice?
Correct.
3, 4. Okay. And it's
It would
a
be 4, and it
of
would
3.
actually cost 2 momentum for the
Okay.
4th dice.
Oops, wrong way. And the complication was 3, right?
Complication should still just be the 20. So just the 1.
Oh, the 1. Oh, well then I'm not going to use momentum. I thought you said 3.
No, difficulty is 3.
Yes. Okay. I guess I said it wrong.
You said complication. I think that's where the disconnect is.
I was reading complication range and I just didn't say range. Okay.
Yeah.
So 4 days, complication 3. I'm using 2 momentum and I know that shit. Okay.
All right. Well, I mean, that's 4 successes, but with a complication. So you get a momentum back, and the complication, hey, you even get a momentum. Very nice. The success tells you that when you scan the area with the sensors on the research station and using your tricorder, maybe even liaising back with the Phoenix, you actually find that there's a micro wormhole that has gotten trapped in the pulsar's orbit. And like all wormholes, except for the Bajoran one of the ends is just going all over the place in the galaxy. So every once in a while, it'll bump into something, pull something through, and spit out the object. However, the
Hey, guys.
complication is going to be that when you discover the wormhole, one of the other consoles in the immediate area near you is going to spark and short out. And Lieutenant Commander looks over and says, "Ensign, did you just overload that console?"
It couldn't handle me.
I know not how to respond to that.
Of course, I know I can make people speechless. So don't you worry your little ears about it.
My
Guys,
ears
there's
are
a
hardly
worm.
small.
There's
There's
a
a wor-
worm.
It,
a
really?
worm?
I was going to ask, what were the chances of a wormhole actually turning up worms? But I think you just answered it.
I know. I mean, it's actually just a wormhole. It's not actually just a worm.
Oh,
I'm like,
What
kinda
console
sad.
is just destroyed? I'm gonna rush over and try to repair it.
Yeah. Good
They're all
news
broken.
is
Thriller, it's fine.
good news is it's not an essential console. It is just one of the tertiary sensor feeds, but you know, it's another 30 minutes of work you have to do.
that's a good consolation.
But yeah, there's a wormhole in the pulsar. It's going
That's-
whoop, snatch, whoop, snatch.
Wait, what was that?
Yeah, it's all here from the wormhole.
What did it do?
It snatched the things.
I
and
believe there
yeeted
was
them
also
here.
a whooping involved.
Mm-hmm. And then a,
Yeah.
but I couldn't be sure.
Yeah. Yeah, all those things.
Okay.
All of them.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let's take a look, see, shall we?
There's one more question. Like with that wormhole, is it just spewing stuff out every now and again? So there's like things scattered around in space, or is it for some reason just happening in here?
It's the ultimate museum.
If
Is it like this end stays in the same spot, but the other end is everywhere?
if you give me a momentum, I will answer those questions.
I think we can give a moment.
Do it.
Do it.
Done.
All right. So yes, we'll address Keela first. Yes, this end of the wormhole is fixed. The other end of the wormhole going all over the Milky Way, so it could potentially pull from many different places. But apparently it's been concentrated on Earth or near Earth or things of that nature at the moment. Randomness, it's fun. As for Thriller's question about whether there's a debris field or something just out in space, no, it doesn't appear that there's any random debris floating out there, or if there is, it's too small for even the research station to pick up on their highly advanced sensors.
Interesting. Huh. All right. Next question. So, how long will this wormhole stay here? Like, is it going to be here for a couple 100 years, or is it going to be here for like a few more weeks?
And
Would
could
we be able to determine when the wormhole came here?
And could we send things back through it?
Give me another momentum, and I will answer those as well.
Okay.
Then we're going to do a task.
There you go.
Magic
All
8-ball survey says.
Yeah, I was going to say survey says. All right, so first question was whether or not you could send anything back. Potentially. The problem is that it's, again, one side of the wormhole is random, so you would have to somehow hope that by chance it linked up to where the initial object or thing was snatched from. And space is a very big place, so it's possible, but not probable, if you understand. Um, as far as how long this wormhole's been here, same amount of time that the pulsar has changed. So basically, the same time the pulsar changed, the wormhole showed up, vice versa. How long is the wormhole going to be here? Well, micro wormholes are highly unpredictable, but this one will last for maybe another, I'd say 300 days at best.
Okay. And we could let it run its course. Called the course. What are the chances of something bad coming through at some point?
I don't
Oh,
know, but that means about 11 or 12 more items to come through.
About a year.
what would you like us to, like? What would you suggest, Lieutenant Commander? What would you like us to do about this wormhole situation?
Do you want a gun or do you want to study it?
Or we could move the station, question mark, far enough away.
I believe this is a unique opportunity to acquire some archaeological findings. Of course, should one item or one instance prove to be dangerous, I believe we have the resources necessary to close the micro wormhole if need be. But well done on finding this interesting scenario. I will be recommending that you are given a commendation from your captain.
Thank you, sir.
Now then, ensigns, I mean not to shepherd you off, but it does appear that your work here is finished. The comms array has been repaired. The consoles have also similarly been made to work again, so unless you have any further business here, I believe it would be prudent for us to all return to our appropriate duties.
Solaris holds up the tool and she was like, glad I could lighten the situation.
Fire! Let me see that. And Keel's
You're like, no.
No.
She'll chase. She'll start running after you.
I think
That's
we're
a
going to go to
strange
break
future
because
check.
my brain just went boop, gone, bye-bye. All right, we'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes, everybody. Stick around. Welcome back, everybody, to part 2 of session 2 of season 2 of Star Trek Lesser Halls. Where we last left off, the crew, the small lower decks crew of Keela, Solaris, and Thriller were just leaving a research station where they discovered a micro wormhole that apparently was displacing small temporal knickknacks. And the station commander basically said, hey, that's a cool thing, we're going to study it. So, the three of you have returned to the USS Phoenix, and the Phoenix has proceeded to go about its merry way in the Sabine Expanse. But this is now the opportunity for you all to converse with the captain, with Commander Baker, really with anyone else on the crew, as you sort of, again, consult and ponder what to do about your situation regarding Section 33. So, would anyone care to go first?
I have something, but if you guys want to go first.
I'm
Okay.
gathering details in my head.
Yeah, I'm
So if
looking
you
for
wanna
the crew
go.
list.
Okay. Well, I said I had wanted to talk to the captain about something, so I'm going to talk to the captain, if that's okay.
Sure. Now, I'm not going to do the French accent thing the entire time. I can't carry
I said
it.
it
Not
was a
today.
fake
My
accent.
my throat's already feeling a little scratchy, so I don't know if I can
Okay.
do the French
Gotcha.
accent. But
You're good.
no, I mean, you come into her ready room. She, says, "Go ahead and sit, and perhaps we can talk." And she kind of looks at you very expectantly and lets you lead the conversation.
Hello, Captain. As you've, I'm sure you've read about my past.
Well, yes, that is why I decided to take you on in the first place.
Even after I accidentally punched someone?
We all know that this is not an accident.
Don't
We
stop.
know that this is you standing your ground.
Yeah. And I want to go back to that standing my ground on that situation. I, from my notes and research, even though that, all right, let's just get that. This is the emergency security engineering. This emergency security hologram was too dangerous, but it's still being developed.
That is correct. I believe that many of the Prometheus and Hestia classes in the Sabine Expanse do use some form of holographic security.
Mm-hmm. Well, the way that the lead engineer in charge of it right now is going with it, it's gonna turn more into a emergency soldier protocol, and I don't think that's Starfleet. If you want my help, I'd like that information on how, like, because there's a lot of good research in that. I'd like it so that that research somehow disappeared from this person's hands, or he stops working on it.
Why don't you give me a presence engineering? I'm going to set the difficulty here to 5. I think this is an appropriate difficulty 5 task. Now, the good news is that you do have tools to succeed here. You do have determination, you do have 3 momentum, and you could always also give me threat.
Okay.
But unfortunately, actually, no, wait, you have Starfleet Protocol, so I think Protocol could be a focus here.
Cool. All right, I'm going to use determination.
Okay, which value are you going to tap?
I've got value center. I can understand machines better than people, or leave no one behind, because this situation has killed people that my character has known and trusted and is good friends with.
I actually like the value you have of a good argument finds solutions. I think that's a good one as well.
Find solutions. Yes, that's very good. Actually, yes.
All right, so that'll start with 2 free successes. How much momentum do you want to spend?
I don't want to use all of it, so can I just spend 1?
It would be 2 for a 3rd die.
I'm okay with you using it.
Yeah, take it.
Okay.
This is a pretty serious thing.
But I click the using determination / value. Do I roll, or do I leave that out?
You can leave it out.
Okay.
Because we already know that you already have the 2 successes. I think all it does is add the 2 successes if you check that.
All right, cool. So boom, 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 3 dice.
All right. All right, so right now you're sitting at 3 successes, which is not going to be enough to convince the captain. So this is where you have the option of challenging a value to re-roll some of those d20s. But again, you have to tell me how you're challenging or shifting away from this value in order to challenge it.
I think I got one. Anything can be used anywhere. I'm trying to say that something shouldn't be used anywhere. It should be locked and protected. Like, it shouldn't be, like, it should be kept, say, or turn something else. So maybe I remove that one. I don't know what to replace it with yet, but
yeah, I was gonna say, so that's the benefit, is you don't have to replace it right away. On this sheet, you see that little chow column with the toggle. Just go ahead and toggle that value, and eventually you can go back and just add in a new value. But yeah, I think that's a perfect way to challenge the value. So you have determination again, meaning you can re-roll as many of those d20 as you wish.
Okay. I will roll 2 because I got 2 right. Using a focus.
There you go. You get a grand total of 6 successes overall. So you actually get a momentum back.
Would he roll his untapped potential?
He would indeed. All right, no help there from untapped potential. So Commander Astier kind of does one of those things where she spins her chair so she's perpendicular to you and leans back and thinks for a moment, you know, fingers steepled against one another, and eventually turns back and says, I am willing to do this. However, you would know that if this was ever discovered, you would be the first one they would check, yes?
Yeah, probably. I'm fine with that.
Well,
they know my stance.
As long as you are fine with this eventuality, I believe I can make a few calls.
I don't care what happens to the data. If you want me to use it for your own organization's needs, I will do that, but I will happily have it not be around. And I'll work on my own stuff to build up that years of knowledge.
Well, in my experience with such things, it is actually better not to destroy, because if you destroy all good things that could come of a bad situation, they no longer are able to exist.
Yeah.
But yes, I
Right.
am happy to do this for you, Thriller. Is there anything else
you.
you would like to address while you are here?
Not off the top of my head. Is there anything you want to address with me?
Yes, actually. I understand that apparently the replicators have been spitting out Ractogenos and other coffee drinks, and for some reason they're all coming under your name.
Okay. Has that guy got his work around?
Well, I of course assume you cannot be in 6 places at once, but you may wish
No.
to take a look at the replicator logs.
I will do. Thank you, Captain.
Very good, Ensign. You are dismissed.
Captain. Oh.
All right, Keela, Solaris, what do you guys want to tackle?
I don't know yet.
I know that's often the hardest part is like you're given an open box and you're like, decision paralysis.
So I fill it.
Mhm.
I'll go next.
Okay.
Try to decide who she wants to talk to. If it would be anyone other than the captain. It's probably just going to be the captain.
Okay.
So she'll go talk with the captain.
All right. So it's one of those things where you and Thriller just sort of pass each other on the way out. And he's on the way out, you're on the way in.
She like goes to raise her hand and he doesn't or something. High five.
Hey, and I just walk past with a wave.
She went like woof, right past and she was gonna go down to hit him and she just like kind of spun herself in a circle.
Nice.
And she'll hail.
I didn't even notice you were doing a high five. I just kept going, hey.
Yeah.
Ensign Keela, apparently it is time to visit the Captain Day. What is it I can be doing for you?
So this whole business, right? And she's just gonna settle herself so comfortable in her chair, right? Like as if like this is her own belonging. And she will. How do I want to start the conversation? She's all like joyful and cheery as she usually is at first, but then she kind of like brings herself down into not somber, but like more serious air. And gosh, what did she want to say? Not to copy Thriller, but you've read my record.
Yes, you have done some very interesting things during your career, short as it may be.
Yes, very, very short, and things I probably shouldn't have had the opportunity to do until I should have been well into my career. Things I was definitely not prepared for. And one of the reasons I was glad to be on this ship, so this ship's kind of been comfortable for me. It's not often you enter a battle when you're just a trainee in the academy. And, have to do unspeakable things. I guess what I'm trying to say is that won't be required of me here, would it?
Well, I cannot tell you that you might never have to point a phaser at someone, but I can at least tell you that it will not be something that I recommend as a first course of action.
And she'll kind of be really relieved at that. Because if it ever was, depending on the situation, because you never know, and she gets a little bit cheery again before going back to serious, I would probably discharge myself. Did not discharge, like excuse herself of that
Basically,
You know what I
turn
mean.
in your badge kind of a thing. Turn in your
Yes.
commission. Yeah.
Because I do tend to like to stay to my corner, and I know being in the Federation, we kind of need to be more flexible than that. But I prefer my category, and I wouldn't want to stray too far from that.
I can certainly make a note not to deliberately put you in any situations where that would be a problem, but again, I cannot make any promises that it will not be required one day.
Right. I guess it doesn't help too that I have that experience now. So, I mean, how many
Say you are
engineers
handling
have?
it remarkably well.
Oh, maybe on the outside.
She kind of raises an eyebrow and leans in a little bit and says, have you considered talking to someone about it? We do have a medical staff on board. I could put in a word with Lieutenant Commander Himera. She's an excellent individual.
And Akila realizes she said too much. She's trying to backpedal. Like, no, I'm totally fine. You know, TM is got large ears, large auditory receptacles. TM, great. Lieutenant, you know TM's a lieutenant? Did you know that? Like, above
Well, I'm
us.
the one
Like,
that approved the field promotion, yes.
I know, and I'm so grateful that you did, because TM is just so smart. And then she'll kind of pause and be like, "Do we travel all over the place, right? How far do you guys typically go out?
Well,
Like distance wise, she means."
This particular ship, we are across the entire Sabine Expanse, so that's a playground of about 50 meters squared, or cubed. Space is cubed.
Because there is someone I'm looking for, and perhaps with the expertise of your category, no, section 33. She still was thinking, trying to hide her words back on the station. Perhaps that would be useful to me.
Submit a report or a picture of whoever it is you are looking for, and we can start to put connections out.
That sounds great. And Keela will kind of stand up and salute, and then just walk out.
Yes,
See you,
you are
Captain.
dismissed, Ensign.
And as she's walking out, I guess Solaris is walking in.
Solaris, high five!
Okay, apparently it is performance review day. Everybody come in. Come in.
Risk.
Here promptly at on time, Captain, as I scheduled.
Well, actually, you are approximately 3 microseconds early.
Oh, I can step back out for the time if
No,
you
I am
need me.
simply making a joke.
Of course, Captain. May I? And she gestures at the chair.
Well, yes, I believe that the previous ensigns have warmed it for you.
She just kind of lowers it, you know. Because like our IRL, that is the worst feeling
It
ever.
really
like,
is. It really is.
If it's your own chair, it's okay.
Yeah,
like you
no, for
sat in
real.
it and you warmed it for yourself.
Yeah. But like getting into a class and you're like, oh God. All right. So she'll sit. And so I've been thinking about what you've told me about this section 33 and what it does and implications it could have. But I had a follow-up question, if you don't mind.
Of course. What is it?
I know, well, not everyone. Most people think that their motivation and what they do is for the right thing. But how do you know, or Section 33 in general, how do we know that what we're doing is the right thing? I want to make a difference, Captain, and I feel like I'm in a good position to help develop better things, and I want to know is it right? Does that make
Oh.
sense?
It does, it does. My answer to your question is a bit of a rambling one, but what I would tell you is that, unlike Section 31, who is blinded to do what is best for what they think is for the Federation, Section 33 is more concerned with ensuring that the principles of the Federation do not die out. The spirit of cooperation, the prime directive, the founding nature of the Federation in general. It is one of those things where, yes, sometimes we do gray area things, but we do not go as far as Section 33. We follow a actual moral code rather than a blindly attack dog philosophy, if you follow.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why we are very, very careful with who we recruit. We very deliberately select people with strong moral fiber and good moral values.
I guess that begs the question. I'm honored that I was chosen for this, but I just how I'm one of 12, and there are many candidates and not to mention Starfleet students as well. How was I chosen, Captain?
Well, you remember the physical battery and the mental battery of tests that you went through when you started at the academy?
Mm-hmm.
We basically have a program running that if a candidate has certain values or certain flags, that we start to take a closer look at their career.
Okay. Out of character, can I roll something to basically insight? Roll like try to figure that the captain is
It's on the
telling the
level.
truth.
Yeah, I gotcha. Why don't you give me an insight and either command or con here? I think technically it's supposed to be con, but I'll let you do command as well.
Better command.
Difficulty of 2 here.
And I have observation focus.
Definitely would apply.
Yes.
All right, you're gonna get the 1 success.
Could have used a momentum.
I was gonna say, if you want to use momentum real quick, I'll let it happen.
Reroll.
Yeah, I think if you just
roll
click
one.
reroll and put in 1, then it should just reroll the 1. Interesting. So there's a complication. So what I'm going to tell you is that the captain seems to be on the level, but she's also not telling you the whole truth. Like, I guess technically it's lying by omission, but it's not like she's hiding like a deep, dark secret that you can tell. It's
It
just that
doesn't
she's
feel nefarious. It's just a company of secrets,
correct.
right? Okay. Like she's not getting like spook vibes from the captain.
Correct.
Cool. All right. So Solaris will I guess she'll finish up the meeting and say, understood, Captain. If it's all right with you, I'd like to stay.
Simply tell Commander Baker that, and I believe he will be pleased as punch.
I will do. Thank you for your time. And
Thank you for cleaning up all the coffee cups.
Captain.
He smiles and dismisses you. So yeah, any other scenes you guys want to accomplish while we're here?
I want to talk to Keela and Thriller and ask, let me pull up the roster again. If this is section 33, what the heck is Jensen doing here? Like his coffee conspiracy, like what is he doing?
He's in a bigger conspiracy than he realized.
Should we, do you think he knows?
Should we ask?
Should we tell him?
Oh god.
That's the fun
But
of
do you
throwing a
believe it?
conspiracy nut NPC into your game, is that eventually there's going to be a point where your player's like, wait a second, has he known the entire time? What, is he in on it? No, he can't be. He's a conspiracy nut. Yeah, he's got to be in it. And
Oh my
it's an
God.
amazing thing.
Uh,
That was it. That's all I wanted to know.
yeah.
It's one of those things where it keeps you up at night. You're just like sitting in bed, staring up at the bulkhead, and you're like, does he know? We need to find out.
And then if he doesn't, how do you go about it without like giving it away, but still trying to ask?
Big Coffee has a big mission for you.
There you
Whatever.
How
go.
do you feel about the number 33?
Oh,
If you actually want to ask him, I have something prepared. But
Oh, do I want to ask?
oh boy.
Speaking of big coffee,
mhm.
I want to rack the Geno and stuff like that. I want to see if first off, if somebody's actually using my account to do it, and if so,
Jensen.
make it so.
Ah.
If so, I want to make it so that they try to do it through my account again, and it doesn't go well for them. In terms
Like
of,
when you say doesn't go well for them, what do you want to have happen exactly?
I don't know, something as silly as the wrong drink, or it just blocks them out. I don't know. So
I can help you with that with
Yeah.
replicators.
So yeah, I want to. Yeah. So yeah, I don't. Okay, if they ever use my account without the proper password, they don't get a cup.
Oh, it just
It's just
replicates
the
the
liquid.
liquid and it just sploosh.
Yeah.
Solaris isn't there, but like she's just like screaming into the void somewhere on the ship, just like, wait a minute,
Something is
about to
wrong.
happen.
As if 1,000 voices screamed out in terror.
There you go. There you go. Perfect. Love it. Cool.
And I also wanted to scan who's doing it and put it on a sheet, so I know who to.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so your scans are inconclusive, but you will be alerted the next time it happens.
Cool.
Cool. All right. Anything else? Points of order people want to bring up?
I got one more thing that could be a closey sort of thing.
Sure. What do you got?
So when I get the research material, because I'm guessing they want me to do something with it.
It's
now
going to be
I
one of those things where you're going to be handed a data pad and told that this is the last copy in the universe, as far as they know. So what you do with it is your call.
So, you know how I was working on engineering hologram?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to plug in some of the things into that. So now it's more stable. I want to set it up so I make emergency medical hologram, and once I got that fixed up and removed all the bad stuff, like the code that was not helpful,
Right.
I start it up, and a Tellarite appears in front of me, and she looks up at me and says, "Well, you got the size wrong for one." And I said, "Hello, Paula," and a tear comes from my eye.
Ah.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious, out of character, partner, friend?
Friend. Basically, when I was in charge of a small team, we argued like crazy, but we were really good friends. And unfortunately, this situation that happened with the holograms, she got killed by the emergency security hologram.
I love it. I love that little resurrection. Very nice. Cool.
Yep.
All right. Well, unless anyone has anything else, I think that might be a good way to end the session. Cool. So yeah, quick little housekeeping thing. So I know we keep saying we're weekly, but schedules are schedules. So I actually can't do the 29th, but as long as everybody can do February 5th, we will be back on February 5th.
Yep.
But yeah.
Be okay.
All right. Well, this is where Twitch, you're going to stick around, but YouTube, we're going to see you later.